Then the fourth section of this chapter number 6 is about producing your message. Producing means what? That how are you going to finish and produce this message? What are we supposed to do? Is 1. Design for readability. Thus far, we have understood this readability part from the perspective of choice of words, length of sentence, organization of the content, size of paragraph, etc., etc. But now, it's all about designing. Designing is also going to play important role. How are you going to design this document is something really important. So, right now we are talking about the designing part. So, what are the aspects we have to consider in designing? The first is consistency. Same font, same position, same style, indentation, etc., etc. Should not be jarring, should be same, so that the reader may not get confused. The second is balance. Somewhere you are using a very small point size, somewhere you have used a lot of graphics, somewhere you are using different colors. Check. It should be balanced. And restraint. Exercise restraint of showing your ability to design in this very document. You may be very good at designing, but make sure that only required design elements are being incorporated in this document. And finally, make sure that the desired details are available in a suitably designed fashion. So, this is something related to designing of the document. In this section, designing section, what are we supposed to take care is white spaces, margins and justifications. White spaces, margins and justifications means what? That make sure that your document is not over-worded, over-designed, is having white space also. No, lot of white space is required. It makes the document soothing, readable. Then margins. How much margin you are going to give? At the left side, left margin, right margin, top margin and bottom margin. Margins. Justification. Then the next is justification. What is this justification? Justification is alignment. It is fully justified, left aligned, right aligned, central aligned or what. So, this justification is also going to help you to enhance the readability of the document. Then, next part is typefaces and type styles. Two things are there. Typefaces and type styles. Let's understand the kind of typefaces and styles are acceptable and are not acceptable. So, okay for business use and not okay for business use. These are the okay for business use. Okay for business use and not okay for business use. Times New Roman, Jokerman, Calibri Default, Juice, Cambria. So, you have a list of such documents, such fonts and type styles which are not acceptable and which are acceptable. So, these are the okay, acceptable, and these are not acceptable. So, make sure that only acceptable typefaces and type styles are being used. Now, if you want to use two types, then you may use like Calibri and Arial. Now, you can see that they are somehow similar. Similarly, you may also use like Times New Roman and Gadamon. Somehow similar. So, understand that what kind of typefaces and type styles are similar, which you may use. Then you can also use technology to produce your message. How can you use technology to produce your message? You may have lot of templates in your software, or you may download a lot of templates from the internet. Themes, style sheets are there. Please learn to use the style sheets in MS Word. Please understand and start using templates in MS Word, PowerPoint also, and understand the power of themes. Then page setup, column formatting, 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns. Page setup, again, page setup is about the margins you are going to give. And then friends, we have paragraph formatting. What will be the distance between the 2 lines and what will be the distance between the 2 paragraphs. Then we may have numbered and bullet lists. In the previous chapter, we have understood the numbering style. How should you give number? And then tables, if you are going to give, how are you going to design tables? Readily available tables are there in every package. Almost everything is available at your click. And then how are you going to use images, text boxes and objects in this document which you are going to produce. Friends, if the document is meant for mobile, then you have to be little more cautious. Designing for mobile devices. Think in small chunks. Why? Because the screen size of the mobile is small. So small chunks. Use plenty of white spaces. This we understood. Normally people say that how much white space should be available? 30% should be covered and 70% should be white space. 70% should be white space. This is the standard. 30, 70. Just see this document, this slide. You can understand that how much area is covered. Then keep format simple. And finally, experiment with layouts. Experiment with layouts means what? That a person may read this document horizontally or vertically. These are the experiments with layouts. In this fashion, friends, we have understood how can you produce the document.